What is going on, everybody? FJC here, back with another XDefiant video, and today I have another discussion video for you guys. It's no secret that when it comes to XDefiant and other arcade shooters, that the primary player base for these games are controller users, and it's really starting to seem like XDefiant is losing a ton of their players, and I'm gonna go over a couple of reasons in this video why I personally believe people are leaving the game. But before we go ahead and continue on with the video, do me a favor, guys, check out my Twitch and my TikTok. Both are linked in the description. I stream practically 7 days a week, as well as posting high quality short form content over on my TikTok as well as my YouTube shorts. So do me a favor, guys, make sure you're following all the socials in the description, as well as join my Discord so you can stay up to date with when I'm going live and posting new YouTube videos. So if this is your first video that you're watching by me, I am an MNK player, and the reason I mentioned this is because earlier on I said that games of this nature are primarily played by controller players. So for this first section of the video, we're going to be very specific to PC MNK players, and it's really no secret that anybody who plays on MNK in this game can quickly realize the game was not created for MNK, which in itself is all right. I know they had MNK in mind when creating the game, but their primary focus was controller players because the vast majority of people who play these games are on controller. And to be fair, I'll give Ubisoft the credit they deserve here. XDefiant is one of the only arcade shooters that has input-based matchmaking on it, and I remember day one of XDefiant's release, I turned crossplay on and input-based matchmaking off so that I can match with controllers. And within the first 5 to 10 minutes of playing in these lobbies, I quickly found out that this game is definitely catered to controllers, and controllers do have an advantage for this game specifically. And this video isn't about whether or not MNK is better or controller is better, but the point I'm trying to make is it quickly makes you turn input-based matchmaking on so that you're queuing only against MNK players. And when the game first dropped, for the first 2 months, lobbies were insanely quick and very easy to find. Now, I know I'm already putting myself at a disadvantage based on the time that I do play XDefiant. I usually start my stream around 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which just isn't peak playing time. But to go from practically finding a game every 10 to 15 seconds after the pregame lobby was created to now sitting in a pregame lobby for at least 5 minutes at a time, it's very clear that the MNK player base of the game is slowly fading away. And a fellow streamer and friend of mine, Snoozin, is an Oceanic player, so he lives in Australia, and the chance of him finding an MNK game, he says, are slim to none. So practically every time he's streaming now, he's only playing the game on controller. And I feel like that's a big reason why some people are leaving the game. MNK players are realizing either I swap inputs so that way I'm not at a complete disadvantage, or I just stop playing the game in general. And in my opinion, the input-based matchmaking load times are on the lower end of the spectrum of why people are leaving the game, because there's so many issues with the game right now. I want to bring up the faction issues, more specifically the skill issues that are happening within XDefiant, because it's such a huge factor. So obviously, if you guys are familiar with XDefiant, you can shoot your enemies or you can use your skills. Now, one of the main issues that have started happening only after the season 1 update is skills not functioning correctly. And this issue isn't only for MNK players, this also happens to controller players as well. But sometimes you'll try to use your skill, and for some reason, some force in the game will cancel out your skill and you'll have to repress the button. I've seen at most up to 7 times, which to me has absolutely no room to be happening, especially for a AAA title, and especially because it's such a core mechanic of the game. Not only will it just cancel on you sometimes, but you'll also run into an issue where you can't even call your skill in anymore. And the only workaround that I have found for this personally is to switch your faction and then go back to the faction you were playing originally, and that will give you the cooldown timer back. And in my opinion, this is one of the biggest factors on why people have stopped playing XDefiant. I look at it the same way as if I was a basketball player and the referee decided to give me a ball that was deflated. Sure, it's a part of the game and I could still use it, but it's not going to work as it's properly intended to. Continuing on with issues revolving around Season 1, ever since Season 1 dropped, I've also run into an issue where I'll get randomly booted from the game and I won't even get an error code. It'll kind of just put me back to the main menu. And I know anybody who plays XDefiant has probably heard the same thing over and over and over again, but on top of everything that I mentioned, Season 1 also created so many network and latency issues. To put it very, very simply, the servers are absolute dog shit. I understand they have mentioned they are working on on the hitboxes and the netcode multiple times before, but since day one of XDefiant, there has been a constant problem of people jumping and it messing with their hitbox completely. I can't tell you the amount of times where I've been fully on somebody's chest, and because they have spammed jump, it has messed with their hitbox so much that my bullets are just going through them. On top of all that, I'm still constantly dying around corners, which I know they're never going to be able to fix 100%, but with the season 1 release, it feels like this has only gotten worse. And the last thing that I want to touch on in this video is one specific gadget, and that would be the SPIDERBOT. Since season 1 released, people started to slowly realize that you could not shoot the SPIDERBOT off of your own face. But when season 1 released, everybody realized that you could no longer do that, and everybody started tweeting at Mark Rubin saying, hey, the SPIDERBOT is completely bugged and you're no longer able to shoot it off of your own face. And his reply was that you were never supposed to be able to do that to begin with. And that was a huge shock to everybody in the community because the SPIDERBOT is completely broken as it is. And the fact that you can't get it off of your own face, and the only way to get it off is if a teammate shoots at you, or you die, or you let the time run out. To me, at least, just seemed a little bit odd that everybody made it aware that you could shoot the SPIDERBOT off of your own face. Mark Rubin turned around and said, yeah, that wasn't intended for the game, but people were doing it for such a long time. I know Mark Rubin has made everybody aware that they plan to add a feature to remove the SPIDERBOT again, which I'm assuming would be the same exact thing, but this doesn't exactly instill confidence into your game's community when your decision making seems a little flip-floppy, at least from my perspective. Anyways, guys, let me know what your thoughts and opinions are in the comment section down below. I do want to hear any single opinion, whether you guys agree or disagree with what I had to say. I always like making these discussion posts because it helps me realize where the community lies at in terms of opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and I genuinely make these videos to gauge how the community is feeling towards the game, and if people have similar opinions or similar points, clearly there's some things that the game developers need to work on. Anyways, guys, if you haven't yet, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell, and turn on post notifications so you get notified anytime I upload. Once again, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, and I will see you all in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Peace out. Much love.